Hello and welcome to the Art of Artisan. Today we're going to be taking an Orzhov Venture deck for a spin, taking advantage of some of the buffs that Wizard has put in for Alchemy for these cheap Venture cards. Interestingly, despite Alchemy having a lot, mostly rares and mythics, it has been really good for Artisan because they've mostly been buffing these commons and uncommons. So our deck is taking advantage of the best of these, which include a 1-mana recursive spell that also ventures into the dungeon, which sometimes we'll play without even playing a creature, like without even having a creature to retrieve. Cloister Gargoyle, which is a 3/3 flyer that with an ETB trigger for 2. Precipitous Drop, which is close to hard removal and also has an ETB. And Barrowin, which we are using largely for the ETB, but once it starts recurring Cloister Gargoyles, we get insurmountable value. However, since there's only 12 really good Venture cards, we are looking to do a sacrifice plan with Dungeon Crawler and a couple Shambling Gas, and a bunch of Village Rites and Deadly Dispute effects, so that we can sacrifice Dungeon Crawler, dig until we get enough of these to complete a dungeon, resurrecting all our Dungeon Crawlers, and starting the process again. So we just start zooming through dungeons. And one really nice thing is if we go through the third dungeon, Tomb of Annihilation, we can take advantage of the discarding a card and sacrificing a creature by discarding Dungeon Crawlers or sacrificing Dungeon Crawlers. So sometimes that's one of the best routes that we can go. We are also playing a decent amount of interaction, not a ton, but between Rite of Oblivion, Infernal Grasp, Kabir Takedown, and You Are Already Dead. This is probably one of the funniest cards from Neon Dynasty, just because we can do things like Chump Attack with a Shambling Ghast, and our opponent might think we're only trying to get a treasure, but not only will we get a treasure, we're also going to be able to kill whatever they blocked with. Mana base is fairly simple. It needs a lot of multicolor cards just because we draw a ton. It's also a fairly small amount because we're hoping to draw into a lot of lands, which is a little bit risky, but hopefully this ends up doing well. Let's go see it in action. Alrighty, game 1 versus Landers. And because of the season reset, we're only in Silver 1 right now, so we may be facing easier matchups, but we'll hopefully quickly get out of that range. Okay, we've got 2 of our best payoffs. We've got Dungeon Crawler. This could be a fairly aggressive start off, so we're just going to play the tap land second, actually, and just get down our threats, and then start playing Cloister Gargoyle and Precipitous Drop later. Alrighty. Dungeon Crawler first. 10-turn clock. Unbeatable. Actually, for some decks it kind of can be, but since we don't really have anything we're going to want to play past 2 mana, we're actually going to go with the untapped land for now. Just drop Cloister Gargoyle. Dig for more Venture cards with this. Village Rites, that's actually pretty good. We won't be able to play it right away because we've only got 1 black mana, but it should be good enough. Oh, that's going to be pretty bad for our opponent because we can just remove that. Alrighty, this is a scary deck to be playing against though. Green-White Enchantress, they're going to be gaining a lot of life. I think we just go with the Goblin, keep our clock going. But they do have a decent amount of life gain. Also, trying to talk to while playing, I totally just swung with a creature that there was no reason to swing with. Okay. There's a kind of funny line we could take. No, it won't work. Never mind. Alrighty. So we're probably going to use Malakir Rebirth on one of our creatures anyways. We're going to swing in with these 2. If they block with the Naturalist, we can play Shambling Ghast and sack it to get rid of it, because that is a serious problem. Shambling Ghast. Sack and draw. Because we just need to turn off all their life gain. We're really trying to close out the game as fast as possible because we cannot beat the snowball that this deck gets. Perfect. Alrighty. Oh, they do get their Kami back, though. I forgot about that. That is a good card. There is no denying that. Okay. So we're going to start off by swinging in with the Dungeon Crawlers. We'll sack one of them and hopefully hit removal, but if we don't, we can at least play another Cloister Gargoyle. Okay. Yep, that's not what we wanted. But Cloister Gargoyle. And here, I think we do the +1/+1 counter, because that will lead to our opponent losing more life in the long run. We'll stick it on him. And we could Fate's Reversal and finish a dungeon, now that I think about it. Get back Shambling Ghast, draw a card. I think we'll save that, though. Save our treasure. Yeah, this deck is really quite resilient for being such an aggressive deck where we're just playing cards like crazy. Most of our cards are 1-drops and 2-drops. This is going to be a problem. I'm actually surprised they went for that rune. Oh, never mind, they've already got lifelink. We are in trouble. I wish we had instant speedway to finish the dungeon and just take that out. Okay. We need to draw into removal and fast. Don't want to swing in with the Dungeon Crawler. We'll grab this because Dungeon Crawler's coming back anyways. Draw a card, complete the dungeon, get Dungeon Crawler back. And we don't have much else to do, sadly. So we'll just run out our hand. And swing in for 7. However, our opponent's probably going to gain back enough life that this will not be worth it. If we had a removal, we probably won right there. And now they are playing free runes. Oh, yeah, we're in serious trouble. They're going to gain a lot of life this turn. They're just going all in on it, too. If they do attack, we're going to block with Shambling Ghast and kill the Generous Visitor. I mean, they have to attack or else they're dead. And the Rune of Speed. Okay, we can, if they do swing in with that, we can kill it, though. And we will. We will snap block that. Our opponent's gaining 12 life. Oh, no. Our opponent's gaining 15 life. Potentially more. Yeah, so this is a place where we would probably win in later games because our sideboard has a lot of room for removal, and our deck can just naturally draw into it. I guess, even though they've got Trample, we'll just prevent 1 damage. Oh, this would be a good place for You Are Already Dead. This is exactly the situation we want You're Already Dead in. Is it worth Malakir Rebirthing? Not really. Our opponent gains so much life that we really cannot recover. They're back to 20. Okay. Probably our only hope right now is drawing a Rite of Oblivion to remove both of their big lifelinkers. Okay, if we play that, we won't be able to. Alright, whatever. We're just going to do this. I shouldn't have played that land yet, but whatever. Lose 2 life. There's the Rite of Oblivion. Just too late. Yep, that's not going to cut it. I don't think so, at least. Well, theoretically, if we draw pretty darn perfectly, this is their best chance of drawing cards, but it's also, yeah, we just gotta kill the Kami. Sacrificing a treasure. And we swing in with one Gargoyle. We're going to block with the other one and potentially Malakir Rebirth it, just to prevent some damage and get some more Dungeoneering in. Potentially scry into some, like Precipitous Drop could kill just Jukai Naturalist right now. And I think our opponent has run out of enchantments, or else they would have been playing them last turn. Oh, never mind. And they... And we can no longer Malakir Rebirth. I believe that is the game. Maximum amount of damage we can prevent is by that, and we still die. I do love Malakir Rebirthing to get these ETBs again, but not enough. Well, these Enchantress decks are really hard to beat. I don't know what to say beyond that. When you don't have a strong removal plan, they're really... We need to face them in best of 3 where we can sideboard in a ton of removal. And then they've just got a bunch of fairly useless runes. Game 2 against Lygos. Alrighty. Ooh, this is... Besides the tap lands, this is kind of as good as things get, because we are going to finish a dungeon fairly quickly. Deadly Disputes to draw. Yeah, this is going to be good. Get a little life gain. Maybe our opponent will think we're Orzhov Clerics. Okay, I'm playing against Werewolves. I think we lead off with the Gargoyle. Get some Scry going. And if they remove it, we can Fates Reversal it back. So, this is probably another middle path. Oh, that's perfect. That's what you want to see against a creature-heavy deck. I mean, we have a decent amount of removal in our deck, between the 4 Precipitous Drops and a bunch of other just kind of random cards. Question is, do we waste it on a Tenacious Pup? I think the answer is no. We'll just play a Dungeon Crawler. Let our opponent run out some big thing that it'll probably be like a Old Growth Troll. Really? They still got nothing. That's actually starting to scare me then. Alright. So I'm planning to Deadly Dispute and then Fates Reversal back Cloister Gargoyle. And we, along with Precipitous Drop, we should be able to finish a dungeon next turn. So let's just swing in with the Dungeon Crawler. If they block it, that's fine, because we're actually probably going to get it back this very next turn. This is what I mean with some of these like looping abilities and decent card draws. We can fairly consistently finish dungeons. Alright, that's scary. They're going to get some big creatures. Yep, alright. I'm wondering if our opponent's actually more of a combo-y deck. Maybe they've got like Walking Skyscraper. We'll just Deadly Dispute our Cloister Gargoyle. Okay, we drew until land. That's really the only big thing we needed. Actually, no, because we can't drop that. Oh well. We'll pull back the Gargoyle. Get ourselves a Goblin. Play the gargoyle. And we will pump it up. And we'll call that good. If our opponent has some sort of removal, we can just dispute. We've got a lot of removal for whatever they play. I mean, even if they, well, I guess not if they play a walking skyscraper. Hexproof. Okay, we can probably kill whatever they put down. Okay, Horn Beetle, that's perfectly fine. Froghemoth, we can also kill. Oh, no, we can't. Do we have any? Oh, we do. Blizzard Brawl, alright. We will just dispute that. Get rid of Oblivion. That will get rid of the Froghemoth. But it will get rid of our Gargoyle, which is a little bit sad. So we can answer our opponent's board, but not much more than that. We're not going to get the Crawler back. Okay. Let's start off by dropping the Horn Beetle. Draw a card. That's good. Then I think we just have to Rite of Oblivion and sack a treasure to kill the Froghemoth. And now we can chip in at Guruk. Or Garrick. They should really... I feel like we need a pronunciation guide for Magic, because I feel like everyone pronounces things differently. Not as bad as Saffron Olive. He pronounces everything wrong. But, okay. We can give it hexproof. It's now going to be a 6/6. Luckily, it does not have trample. But we also don't have any instant speedway to get rid of that. Okay, we're probably just going to have to use Fellstinger to block it. I think we're at the point where we can start heading for Dungeon of the Mad Mage, though. We'll start with this because we're going to be drawing. Yeah, let's just draw. Hopefully they do not have trample or like a blizzard brawl or anything to get rid of our Fellstinger. Okay. We are now happy to chump with Barrowin. Do we go for this? Is it worth it, or is it just better to... I think we actually go for it. We've got enough ability to start dungeoneering. And we hope for no Blizzard Brawl. We could play the Ghast. I don't think it's worth it right now. You can always use that treasure next turn to play it. We do need to dig into more removal, though. The Sparkhide Troll is going to be a problem. They're pumping up their hand. Packsong Pup. Alrighty, that's totally fine. We can get rid of the pup. Alright, we've cleared their board. They're going to have a lot of value with this unnatural growth. But okay, this creates a wolf whenever we double spell. That's kind of annoying. But we are about to start getting some value. Scry. Gargoyle is fantastic, especially with this Barrowin going. And I think for now, where they've got nothing going on, we just hold back, sit tight, and finish them off. And we'll actually just have this exploit itself and we'll draw. Which actually, now that I think about it, I think we're just going to let Howling Moon run its course, and we'll just go ham for a little bit. Shambling Ghast. Okay, you get a wolf. Fine. Cloister Gargoyle. Target creature can't attack. We'll lock down their wolf that we just gave them. And we can Village Rites, get rid of our Shambling Ghast. Actually, no, I think we actually get rid of the Cloister Gargoyle. Just to 6/6. Oh my goodness, we can get rid of it. Oh, this is hilarious. So what we're going to do is we're going to Village Rites our Shambling Ghast and Precipitous drop the werewolf. Okay, yeah. They get another wolf, which is scary, but we get rid of their card draw, which I think is a lot more important. We drop the wolf, resolve that, and we scry 2. Fate's Reversal is good. Let's draw it. For right now, by Fell Stinging, sack the Crawler. We'll hurt ourselves a little bit. Play a Swamp. Anything we want out of here right now. I guess we can grab another Ghast or something, but we're going to be getting it naturally. I think we do it anyways. Let's just Fate's Reversal. Grab the Ghast. Oh, we should have saved this because we want to use Runestone Caves. Oh well, we'll just make skeletons. And a Ghast. And we're looking pretty good on our board state. The Unnatural Growth and Howling Moon is a little bit scary, but they don't have Trample yet. I think next turn we just need a Rite of Oblivion, get rid of the moon. So we can keep going. Yeah. Okay. Rite of Oblivion. Target the moon. Sack a treasure. I don't think we want to draw into our other Rite of Oblivion to get rid of the growth now. Let's look real quick. What's our next Scry 3? Okay. So we can Fate's Reversal back whatever they kill here. So I'm kind of okay with just swinging in hard. And we can get mad. We can finish the dungeon if they let us here. I think we actually decline this time. Keep our life total high. Well, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Yeah. Could have killed their wolf if they did that. Bonk, 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 bonk. Let's Fate's Reversal back Barrowin. Scry 3. Okay, we got Fate's Reversal. You Are Already Dead is huge. These are actually all great cards right now. So I think we just, yeah, we keep them all. And we're going to play Barrowin. Venture into the dungeon, draw 3 cards. They're kind of all 1-drops, but it doesn't really matter because we're going to kill one of their wolves with this one and draw a card and get back our dungeon crawler, and the value train is going. Now our biggest concern feels like it's milling out, or our opponent playing Froghemoth. Froghemoth would be really bad. But if they don't get Froghemoth, I think we have lethal. We can venture into... Ooh, that's another option for scary. If they swing out, they probably lose. Okay, math. What we can do is we can venture into a dungeon 3 times, which means we can go through, unless they discard a card, they can't, so they'll lose 3 life automatically. Sacrifice a creature, artifact, or land. They have no tricks up their sleeve. They can't transform this. Yeah. We just do this. Okay. And we win. Oh, we also have removal. Sweet. Yeah, we just swing out. We'll return a Fellstinger. We will choose... Oh, do we... Yeah, we do it. I think we do it for the fun of it. We'll sacrifice it. They draw 2. We hit them for this much. And that's game. Fellstinger kill. We had a lot of other ways to kill them. Game 3. I really do love playing this deck, largely because there's just so many crazy lines that we take, where we've got all sorts of recursion and choosing which dungeon to go through. It really actually is a fairly difficult deck to pilot. I feel like I punt a lot. If we lose our dungeon crawler, this hand does nothing. But I think we actually keep it and just hope we can village rights it into something. Alrighty. Yeah, we'll play it. We'll play a land. And we'll pass the turn. I'm not sure if we just immediately village rights it or if we wait until next turn. Depends on what our opponent's doing. Okay. I think we do it now. We really want to get rid of their adventure. Let's hope we draw into Precipitous Drop or something. Not looking good. Oh, that'll do it. Okay. And we'll just do this immediately. Make sure that they can't like draw anything to get them out of this. Okay. Looks like our opponent is also on the Orzhov venture plan, which is kind of fun. Pass the turn. We have not drawn any good venture cards besides these from our opening hand. It's a little worrisome. I think our opponent just played a card that they can't do anything with. Whoa, I think they grabbed the wrong pathways. I think they put the wrong pathways in their deck. I think they're supposed to be Esper, and they are playing a blue path, or they're playing green on their pathway. That's fun. Alrighty. Vera Takedown is about to be turned on fairly soon. I think we just go for finishing our first dungeon as fast as possible. That's usually what we do. It's Lost Mine. Alrighty, and we pass. Pretty much any creature we draw means we can kill the gargoyle. So a creature would be nice. Or we might just kill that. Our opponent's not looking like they're venturing through the dungeons very fast if we keep removing their creatures. I'm scared of Nadar more than anything right now. Nadar can do some problematic stuff. But for now, we'll just kill their creature. We'll scare our opponent and swing in with just Shambling Ghast. Hopefully they don't like finish a dungeon and somehow punish us. Alright. Sometimes you've got to make less than optimal plays just because your opponent will wonder why you're doing it. And like playing suboptimally is a way to bluff. Alright, they've got a venture machine now with a Serac. If we draw some sort of sacrifice thing, I think we just sacrifice the gargoyle so we can face reversal it back and play it again and venture as fast as possible. Okay, our opponent's gargoyles are almost turned on. Rolling for drain. Alright. I think pumping their creatures is the better option when they've got flyers and when we've got a mirror blocker. Okay. Sack the gargoyle. Draw 2. Face reversal. Grab the gargoyle. We will create a goblin, I think. Yeah. Then we play the gargoyle and put a counter on it, which lets it now block their gargoyles. Oh wait, no, their gargoyles will have flying. Oopsie-daisy. I think we still do it for once it's finally turned on. And we'll play our land for the turn. And we'll pass. Okay, our opponent's probably going to just start a Seracking. I find it funny the way that they buffed this card, because it kind of did nothing. It's not like people ever stick a Serac. Our opponent's not even going for it, they're just going through the mine. Vandelver instead of Tomb of Annihilation. I mean, we'd probably let them create the zombie anyways. Like, it just doesn't do much. Kind of a funny card in that regard. Okay, that's decent. Give it flying, but also venturing ability. We're going to be removing that with Shambling Ghast. Okay, they're going to leave back a gargoyle. I'm not quite certain that's the best call for them, but we'll let them hit us. And now I'm thinking they've got some sort of pump spell or protection in hand. Well, we'll make them have it. Oh, wait, no, cancel. Let's let them decide what they're doing before we get rid of their adventure. They may be planning on using it to finish a dungeon. Okay, yeah, they're going for a long dungeon. So we'll remove their adventure. Draw 2. Hitting another gargoyle would probably be best. Oh, that's good too. That's great. Oh, so is that. All right. We'll drop their gargoyle. Perfect. Finish the dungeon. We now have a blocker for their other gargoyle. And we get our grave dungeon crawler back. And now I think we erase our opponent through Tomb of the Mad Mage. Dungeon of the Mad Mage, or do we try and close out the game where they've only got 2 cards with Tomb of Annihilation? And I think we actually go for Tomb. Especially with this dungeon crawler. We can do some nice sacking of it and everything. Yeah, I think we actually even kind of want to sack things. Because we've got Barrowin going, so we'll just go for Tomb. And we swing in with our Gargoyle. We don't care if our opponent can swing back. Next turn, they're probably just going to start cycling this Acererak. We'll get 2 triggers. They can stop us, our Gargoyle, from attacking next turn. That's about the worst I feel like they can do. If they play Nadar, that's a problem. Nadar is a serious problem. Oh, that's not bad at all. Now they get to scry one twice. Audible gasp. Yeah, that's not really a threat to us right now. Alright, we've just got to pressure their life total really fast. We may just start throwing these to get back shambling gas, just for the sake of getting shambling, like just for the sake of progressing the dungeon. Alright. So, actually, I think we just all-out swing. Well, we just swing with these three. Let's swing with these three. If they kill our Barrowin, we can just get it back with Fate's Reversal, and I think that's the best thing we can do with it. Perfect. They're scared. They know we've got something. Okay. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Now we Fate's Reversal. Get back Barrowin. Each player loses 2 life unless they discard a card. Sweet. We're gonna just decline. We'll take the damage. And now we can Barrowin and sack our Shambling Ghast and kill their Hama. Bashar. And now they don't get the double triggers on their dungeons again. Bye, Hama. Do we do anything else here? Do we Fate's Reversal Sling back? You know what? I think we actually do. Let's Fate's Reversal. Grab a Shambling Ghast. Finish the dungeon. Automatically get back our Dungeon Crawler. Then play Shambling Ghast and Dungeon Crawler. And we've got Fellstinger for extra burn. I think we've got this game in the bag. And in fact, we can burn our opponent twice by playing Fellstinger, sacking it to itself, and then swinging in with Barrowin and bringing it back. So our opponent's pretty much at 5 life right now. We've got a Lair of the Hydra for blocks, but I don't think they can keep up. They're playing all the fancy buffed cards. I mean, this was a pretty big buff, the Triumphant Adventure. Not a big buff, but this is a pretty good card. Like, they've got a good Esper deck, but I just don't see any way that they can keep up with a deck like ours. Okay, that's pretty good. Still doesn't do it. They're now tapped out, so we can safely Fellstinger to give them cards. Oh, we can do it 3 times now. We'll exploit ourselves. Target you. Yep, we're sure. We'll Fellstinger. We'll exploit itself. Target you. Yep. We'll swing in with everything. We'll bring back a Fellstinger. We'll have it exploit itself. Target you. Yep. 6 damage of Fellstinger burn on this last turn. And they are absolutely dead. That was pretty good. That was really good. Loft might be a good card in our deck if we weren't playing 0 rares. And that's another win, taking down 4-color? I guess they're 4-color. 4-color Venture. Nishabia. We've got lots of removal. We've got some card draw. Granted, this removal is not turned on yet, but I think this is good. Village Rites will hopefully get us into something good. Okay, Champion of the Perished. We're going to bank on our opponent not having 2 zombies this next turn. They played Champion into Champion to It's like black mana, champion. We're dead, but nope, we're good. Alrighty. Oh, and Infernal Grasp, that's good. Lots of removal, which should be useful in this matchup. Venture. I think we just go for the usual plan of mine. That's decent. We keep that. We do have a land drop for next turn already. Yeah, let's do it. And we'll swing in. Do we swing in? If they block, we can just start removing everything they have. Yeah, I say we do it. We've even got an exile-based removal, which should be good. If they play like a Headless Rider. I'm not sure if they're mono black or Dimir. Okay, there's Headless Rider. So for now, do we just kill it with Infernal Grasp? Or do we Fate's Reversal back the Crawler? I think we Infernal Grasp it. Okay, they get a free zombie. But I think we will soon outvalue them. We can take a couple hits. That's good. I can get back their rider. Yeah, it just looks like a kind of normal zombie plan. Do we go for this? Yeah, we do it. Okay. I mean, Fate's Reversal, even if it just said venture into the dungeon, I might still play that. We can Rite of Oblivion, remove the Butler. That's an okay line. Or we can just save up Deadly Dispute and block. Yeah, let's just Deadly Dispute. Because our mana, we don't have enough black mana to do everything we want. We'll pass to attackers, my bad. Our opponent is also really land light, and that's good. Okay, that's another removal spell. And a land. Okay. Heroine, we can play that next turn. So let's just play this as a land. Play this. And we're actually just going to get rid of the Undead Butler and prevent our opponent from getting any good value out of anything. We're not going to be venturing twice soon enough, so yeah. I was thinking about sacking the Crawler. Our opponent's putting pressure on our life, which means this Fellstinger is getting worse. They should have done that after combat, but oh well. Okay. What do we have in the graveyard? Okay. We could play Crawler, then play Takedown on the Stinger. That could be an okay line. Crawler, Takedown, Village Rites. That actually seems pretty good, because we're probably going to be getting back both of our Crawlers once we finish this dungeon. Yeah, let's do it. Crawler into Takedown. They did hit their land drop, but it's another white. It's another colorless source. Hopefully our opponent needs double black for something. Okay, sweet. And removal. So in for 2. We can now finish a dungeon, assuming we draw a land this next turn. Okay, there's the Ghast. Don't draw the land. I think we go for the simpler plan of, do we just swing in? Our opponent is drawing cards, and we don't want them to get a treasure. Yeah, let's just sack our dungeon crawler. They had removal. They have village rights, I think. And they're thinking about killing our dungeon crawler in response. that's the case, I think we do sack Felstinger to itself. We can get it back with Barrowin. Alright, nope, we're good. And a Gargoyle. That's good. That's really good, actually. We'll venture. I think we just go for life drain at this point. Alrighty. We've got Shambling Ghast, which can give us a treasure for Rite of Oblivion. So if they play any sort of recursive threat or whatever, we can get rid of that. Oh, that's not going to work too well for our opponent, considering we're playing Barrowin. That's fun. Okay. Sadly, it's not going to survive, but it is cool. We'll draw a card. Another precipitous drop. Take action. Take action. We're gonna, I think, is it too greedy? No, we're gonna do it. Okay. We're gonna go all in on a plan of Tomb of Annihilation. We're gonna rush it pretty hard. We're even gonna attack with Felstinger, because we can get it back with Barrowin. We are totally fine with that. We actually probably are gonna get the Cloister Gargoyle back, but whatever. Especially if they don't have removal right now, we're good. That's not removal. And it's removable. Oh, they're not even... They're getting low on life. If they play a creature... Oh, that's not a creature. That's bad for us. Costs 5 to scry. So those 5 lands, yeah, so we're just going to go double Dungeon Crawler. And then scry with our land. Then we can remove anything they play pretty easily. That's going to be a bit harder to remove profitably, but we can still do that. Unless they're sacking it right here. Wow. They're going for the exile clause. They don't really have anything else to do. That's perfect. Okay, they do get to exile, though, and that's a problem for us. What did they return to hand? Jadar. Okay, we can remove the Jadar. The Decayed Zombies can't block. Okay, what's the play here? Make our opponent discard. We're not going to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, we can play Shambling Ghast. Next turn, we can play Precipitous Drop on our crawler. Well, not on our crawler, but sack our crawler. Or maybe even just Shambling Ghast to remove Jadar. If they play multiple blockers, we can just... Yeah, we can do that. That's good. Alright, we've got him. I think we've got him. Depends on what we can scry into here. Felstinger definitely does it. Good game. We were about to remove their entire board except for the zombie. We just get so much value with this deck. There's so much recursion. Even with that opening hand where we had one creature, we were able to just loop it, sack it to Felstinger, and by completing the dungeons are actually surprisingly good. Like, sure, it takes 4 ventures, but getting a 4/4 with Death Touch, the Life Drain, like Tomb of Annihilation is pretty good on its own. Even if we didn't have all the payoffs with like the Dungeon Crawler and whatnot. Alrighty, let's move on to the next one. But here we are in game 5. Let's see if we can make it a 4-1. And it's looking like we might be able to. This is a good set of cards. Just between these three, it's almost a snap keep. We might start a little bit slow, but we have the fun line of play Gargoyle, sack it, Fates Reversal it, play it again. We'll probably draw into more stuff from there. So, like that. Alright, our opponent is now going to know what our plan is. Cloister Gargoyle makes it a little obvious. And they're playing red, but it's a snow land, so I think this is it? So I think we just need a race. We need to put pressure on them. Oh, I was wrong. I was super wrong. We are in trouble. Shoot. Do I just village rights? No, I want it. If I village rights, there's a small chance I draw into something that can kill the whelp. It's really small. I need to hit like black source and removal. But I'm planning to village rights it anyways, and our Cloister Gargoyle is not a good blocker. So I think that's all we can do. Almost. That's actually kind of close to what we wanted. But it is not what we wanted. Okay. Well, yeah, I think we just played it. Okay. Our opponent gets to pop off. They're probably going to play a Town Razor Tyrant. Luckily, it cannot hit our lands. It's just a 4/4 flyer for 4. That's all. Ooh, and we can swing into it with the Ghast. And you are already dead. Like, threaten to kill the whelp. That sounds pretty good. We can kill our Ghast now. Okay, so yeah, I think we start by swinging with the Ghast. If they block, they're going to die so bad. We'll clear their board. They might think, oh, I've already got the discount that I need, and might block just to get rid of it. Then we can, you are already dead, and that'll be brutal. We got it. Okay. -1/-1 on the whelp. You are already dead, pulling its weight. Pew pew. Now we can play Plains, Fates Reversal, get back the Cloister Gargoyle. Unless they discard a card. We could almost just discard the Cloister Gargoyle and get it back, but we're a land short. I think we actually choose to, because we're not going to have much ability to stop what our opponent's doing. Then we play a Gargoyle. And we'll do this. Here's the question, do we sack a land? And I think the answer is yes. We just need to win this race. Our opponent, they would have had to sack their mountain. Like, they would have had to go down to 2 lands to stop that. Okay, this is probably Goldspan. Just based on what I've seen from decks like theirs before. If they have removal for this, it's actually perfect, because we can just Fates Reversal it back. Okay, that's good. Oh, Dragonfire, please. Aw, darn it. Okay, do we want to do Fates Reversal to get back Ghast? Probably not. Oh, but we kind of need to. That's our best bet of killing. Yeah, I think we just got to go all in on bum rushing this. Okay, Fates Reversal to get back a really wimpy Shambling Ghast. But we also get a 4/4. 4/4, and we can start. Do we care about Chandra? I mean, we can't kill it this turn. I say we just beat Faith. Okay, Faceless Haven, they've now got a decent blocker. There's no way they don't have a good dragon to play this turn. They're adding red mana. If they didn't have a dragon, they'd be exiling from the top of their library. Ah, they finally got the removal for our land. Sad day. Alrighty. Okay. What do we do here? I think we gassed. And I think we bluff having removal, having a sacrifice ability for our Shambling Ghast. I think that's our best bet of winning. Our opponent's scared because we got them with You Are Already Dead last time. I'm going to go into control mode. I should have done that before I swung. They really have to think this one through because we do have Burn in the form of Fellstinger and in the form of Tomb of Annihilation. Dang it, they got us. Okay. We only hit them for 6. Ooh, that's good. Ooh, and that's actually super good. That hoses our deck pretty much entirely. Alrighty. I think we need to sacrifice it. We need to be able to just pressure our opponent. We can still scry with this if we draw just another land next turn. So I think it's fine to sack a land. Our opponent, it's kind of questionable if they'd win a race, if they just swing hard at me. They can get in with Faceless Haven though, never mind, yeah, they win the race. Pretty easily. And the exile clause on our creatures is rough. Yeah, I think we just lost. They Brittle Blast again. There goes the Ghast. They swing in for 7. And we draw land. Alrighty. Losing record. That Brittle Blast was brutal. I mean, we didn't have anything going on anyways. Alright, that was an impressive deck. I was very happy with how it played. I feel like having the 12 different draw 2 effects for sacrifice actually ended up being fairly consistent. It didn't feel like we didn't have things to sack to it that often. We had a decent amount of interaction. I wish we drew Precipitous Drop more. I think that's actually maybe the best card in our deck. Like, it's just a removal spell that ventures, and that is so good. The Gargoyle and Fate's Reversal loops were really nice for finishing dungeons quickly. We did run into some incidental graveyard hate along the way with Froghemoth and Brittle Blast, and those things are pretty bad for our deck, but I feel like we can always rebuild with all the card draw that we get. You're Already Dead, the only game where we drew it, it ended up doing exactly what I hoped it would do. And there was even another game where I was like, oh, I hope we draw it. That's our biggest doubt. So it may actually be worth sticking another copy and replacing an Infernal Grasp, because the card draw and the not losing a creature, and the not losing life, because we're already losing a lot of life with Fellstinger and with Tomb of Annihilation. So I could see making that change. I might cut the Infernal Grasps, add another You Are Already Dead and another Shambling Ghast, just to make the sacrifice plan a little bit more consistent. The sideboard, this is my quick thought sideboard. There's a lot more removal. Bloodchief's Thurston, Portable Hole, You Are Already Dead, Power Word Kill, Fracture, Circle of Confinement, and Divine Gambit, which can be nice if we are just desperate to remove enchantments. It's kind of a joke, but it could be good sometimes. But the other plan for when we run into control, we've got Rotten Reunion, which is a way for us to consistently get enough things to sacrifice. So if our opponent's heavily just like removing our 1-drops, they've got things like Cinderclasm or even worse, Crush the Weak, we at least have this as a way to get ourselves to draw out of it. And then a lot of discard, which can help us to just snowball our value, because our deck is really built around these 3 cards: Precipitous Drop, Cloister Gargoyle, and Fate's Reversal. The rest of it is just sort of a sacrifice shell to support the plan and dig for it. But in some matchups, we really just scrap the rest of our sacrifice plan and whatever, and we just go heavy on the interaction. And if we stop our opponent, eventually we'll draw into the combo. And so I think the deck's really good. It's super fun to play. It does a lot of explosive stuff. If you ever have the quest to play like 40 white or black spells, this will finish it very quickly because you're looping so many different things. So thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a good rest of your week.